Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. Welcome back to another show on the channel. With it being an international break, we'll thought we'd do something a little bit different while the international break is going on. So, yes, as you can see by the title, we're picking our top 5 Newcastle United season that we have watched. So today we've been as a fan of the football club. Joining me is John Sinclair and Tony. How you doing, guys?
Good evening to you, my guy. How are you doing? You good? Champion. Great to be back, man.
Yeah, probably good stuff. Sorry, we're a little bit late. It was just a few technical issues trying to upload a few images to get ready. But yeah, we are here now. Anyway, guys, you know the drill. If you enjoyed tonight's show, remember to hit the thumbs up. It does keep us up those search results. And of course, please, if you're brand new to the channel, if you're not yet subscribed and you really enjoy what goes on the channel week in, week out, hit that subscribe button. Free to do so. It does help make the channel grow. And the bell notification that will let you know whenever we are live or when there is a pre-recorded video taking place on the day as well. Feel free to donate if you'd like to do so. And if you want to become a member for just 99p, just hit the join button as well. And you'll be put to the next prize draw. We're down to a few comments in everyone. Lawrence says, evening, everyone. He's got his first 4 seasons in chronological order. Or 08, 09, 12, 13. Though I could have easily went for another one instead. 14, 15, 15 to 16, and 20 to 21. Some interesting ones there. Lawrence, where's PD? Where you now? We haven't seen yet. Here are the 3 amigos. Good evening, Ian. Hope you are well as well. Mad Mag, good evening. Hope you are well as well. Okay, they're right. So we'll dive into these then. So we'll start off with, John, we'll start for one of John. John and Tony, they've got some of the same one, and this is going to be the first one that they're going to pick. So you've got the 1998 and 1999 season. It was before my time. Even Tony's gone for the same one as that one. I'll start with you, John. Why have you put this as one of your top 5 worst seasons?
I thought we were out of a definite league. To be honest with you, I mean, Tony will know better than I will. But let's be real. But it was a terrible season. Finishing the bottom 3 most of the season, cannot win a game, and players are just not done it at all whatsoever, sort of thing, you know. But not just get beat, just absolutely mullet. But it's just a season to forget, man, because losing players like Beardsley, Waddle, and Gascoigne and that hasn't helped at all whatsoever. And when you say your best players, right, and you don't replace them, then I'm afraid to say that's what happens. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, you got a good player. John Hendry tried his best, but you know what? Didn't happen. But do you know what? It is what it is. But didn't deserve to stay up, to be fair. And was just playing not good football, and we deserve where we are. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, Tony, what do you? Why did you put this one as one of your top worst seasons as well?
Because it was a bloody terrible season. That's why.
Telling me.
Under Seymour and McKeague, the owners, who I couldn't stand them, to be honest. Couldn't stand them too. And I mean, look, we were just in a poor state. We sold our best players, England internationals as they are, in Gaza, Waddle, Beardsley. Absolute, just, we were just absolutely rotten to the core. That was the season when we signed Besant, the goalkeeper, who was absolutely dross, let's be honest. Yes, he played well for Wimbledon, won them the FA Cup with that penalty save, and that's what made him famous. And if I remember, that was on the back of why we signed him for £750,000. We signed also in that time as well. We'd signed Andy Thorne, who I thought wasn't a bad centre-half, let's be honest. I thought Andy Thorne did quite well for us. We signed Scotland's hottest striker at the time, John Robertson from Hearts. Absolute dross. He couldn't do it in England. He was absolutely terrible. We sold him back to Hearts. Hendry was a good signing. But yeah, it was an awful season, and we just dropped like a stone. And we deserved to get relegated, let's be honest. We deserved it. So, yeah.
Tony,
one of the worst seasons I've seen.
So the last 9 games, right, in that season, we've lost 6 and lost 7 and drawn 2. And that tells all you need to know, Tony. That's all you need to know, because you just mentioned there, we had John Robinson as well. Dynamite at Hearts, couldn't do it in Newcastle. John Hendry couldn't settle. Best was unsettled to go back to London. And you know what, mate? I just think Newcastle had problems. I mean, William McFall was manager at the time. He got sacked. And it just wasn't great. So, and if you look at the record as well, I mean, the lowest attendance, 14,000, and that's in the old First Division. And you know what? Muradini was the top scorer as well in that season, 11 goals in that season as well. So for me, they finished bottom of the table, and you know what? It's a season to forget, man.
Yeah, I liked Mirandina. I liked him. I really did. Again, I know we signed him off the back of that when he scored that equaliser at Wembley for Brazil against England. And he was a bargain at the time. I mean, when you think of players, you know, and I'll say to Ronald, I thought I'd said 850,000, I said 750,000. I meant, £850,000 each they cost Thorne and Besant. But Besant wasn't that great, let's be honest. I think I did a team. I think we did a thing, Pete, with the worst keeper and that, and I said Besant was one of the worst players we had in Newcastle.
Something like that. I think we did something like that, didn't we? I can't remember.
Yeah, but we deserved to go down. We even got beat up West Ham, who got relegated as well. So that just shows you how far we get.
Yeah, absolutely. Even Ronald says 1988-99 was a terrible season. Good evening, coffee. Was bad 10 years before I was bumper. Could tell how bad we were, finishing bottom and losing 3-0 at home to a West Ham side that also went down. We got all points of Liverpool that season and all. I think Miradina scores at Anfield where we won.
Yes.
Them Springs says, quite similar to the Ashley year. Had managers leaving because of the board after us getting us promoted. Arthur Cox just after he got us, so they were best players and got relegated. Good evening, Lorraine. I hope you're well. And Besson cost 850,000 each. Wow. Evening, Pete and John. Antonio, hope you're well. Agree with you, too, as that was the worst season. Brian says, I'm still fuming about our medical team. Aren't we all? Good evening, Julie. Our team was hopeless. John Robinson couldn't hit a barn door.
That's the problem. He's a talent, but that's his problem. He just can't hit it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Mine's this season so far would be lucky to finish 7th or 8th this season, lads. Eddie medical team and Eddie Hour combined are responsible for it.
I'll just say something with that. I'm not going to mention his name, right? I'll be in the chat as well. I know you avoided him. I mean, I'm forgetting some of J and his second name is L. Mate, don't be a pork chop for you. You're going to come on the channel, speak football and respect the guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, we don't need you. Don't be
Otherwise, a pork chop. That's why I didn't want to bother reading it out. Otherwise, we'll see what. Oh, it's off Twitter anyway. Damn it. Anyway, yep. Remember to no. Oh, I don't know if I can get rid of this idiot in the chat. So 2008, 2009 was the worst season. Yes, thank you. Anyway, Bruce, what a talent and manager he was. Oh, Jesus, what?
Love it, man.
Will's winning v Island, says Bia. Yes, they are actually. Right then, this is the first one I'm gonna pick, and this is one of them, and it's this one I'm gonna go for. The 2004-2005 season. You remember Lee Boyer getting into a bust up with Dyer that game at Aston Villa?
Yes.
Yes.
For me, that was a really poor season because Bobby Robson gets 4 games in charge. We drew away to Middlesbrough. We lose it at home to Spurs. We drew against Norwich when we were 2-0 up, if I remember. And we got beat 4-2 away to Aston Villa. And what happened after that? Well, Bobby Robson was gone out the door. And we couldn't believe it. It was his replacement. It was Graham Souness. My God, he was atrocious. Him that for me was a really poor season. We finished 14th that season, but I thought the football was really poor. We signed players that season. The beginning, Bobby he brought in Patrick Clivert, he brought in James Miller and Nicky Butt, he brought in Stephen Carr as well. Then the second half of that season, Graham Souness brings in John Allen Boomsong and Celestine Babayaro. I think we got in Zogbia that season as well. I can't remember if it was the summer or January, though, off the top of my head, but it was one of them. Yeah. But for me, it was a really poor season. Bellamy had a bust up with the manager before the Arsenal game, and he was sent straight to the stands. And after that, that was him finished out the football club. So I'm putting that in there. We finished 14th. It was just a poor season, I thought, under Graham Souness. I mean, Tony, you remember that season as well?
Yeah, I remember that. The Dyer Boyer fight. Nobody can never forget that, can they? Against Villa. That was just, yeah. And then, obviously, we saw the famous tea lady incident, didn't we, with Graham Souness? And, I remember that well. Terrible that was. Absolutely awful.
I mean, getting rid of Bobby was the bad mistake of all time, John.
But that was Freddie Shepherd.
Well, yeah, we'll get Freddie Shepherd, getting rid of him, yeah.
Yeah.
100%, guys, 100%. I mean, I was at the gym that day, right? And someone told us, said that Bobby Robson, you support Newcastle, don't you? I goes, I don't know if you know anything. Bobby Robson's just been sacked. I said, how are you, man? Sure. Seriously. So someone showed me the phone and said it was true. I stopped training, went home, right? Listened on Sky Sports. Malcolm McDonald was there that day, right, on Sky, and he absolutely ripped into the young players. Kieran Dyer was the biggest problem of the lot. I mean, those players, right, took the wholesale mick getting Bobby sacked because it didn't perform. My understanding was, right, the Patrick Clivert signing was a Freddie Shepherd signing, not a Bobby Robson signing. Yeah, I think Bobby wanted someone else, and he had to play him. He had no choice. He looked overweight. He wasn't fit. To be fair to Clivert, he got 14 goals that season. But for me, sacking Bobby was the worst I've ever seen in my life. And you know what? Since he went, guys, we're down a downward spiral. So on this, took us down to 14th. Nearly got us relegated. Freddie had to sack him because if he wasn't sacked, we would have probably been relegated. Glenn Road had to come up and pick up the mess.
Yes, he did have the season next, didn't he?
But one thing I agree with Soundness, right?
Yeah.
When Boyer and Dyer had a fight. Now, most managers would not have done this up to this very, very day, right? He brought in Boyer and Dyer into the press conference. And they made sure they apologized, shook hands with each other, and Souness had to come in and explain the whole thing. He had to apologize, got the place to apologize. And I think that's damn good management for Souness, whether he's got his faults, whether you like him or not. I don't particularly like the guy, I'm not going to lie, but he did right. And then 14th he finished. We're not going to get relegated, but believe you me, we're going to have one of our worst seasons ever in my time as a Toon fan.
Yep. Brian, that was a shite season. You remember that game? Shally seasons. We got relegated. Must be up there. Good evening, Rich. Hope you're well as well. I was in my last year at school and protesting when we already relegated a copper Grammy in the corner and said I was a bad influence for kids. My pals, he wouldn't believe it. Good evening, Andrew. Is it twice you've been relegated? No, it's more than twice, hasn't it?
Well, in the Premier League, it's twice.
Premier League,
it's twice. That was when it is 2009, 2016.
Yep. Yeah, you do get some blanks on the channel, lads. If they can't speak sensible, don't speak at all. Exactly well said. Like, had I been going to games in 04 or 05, would have been Slimmerland 20 to 12 to 30. Both quite similar seasons, but suppose 05 or 04 season would have been more surprised. Creighty's put in a hard shift. Was he going to get his shit ripped like that? Says Lorraine. I was 11 years old then. I was fucking fuming. Bobby was sacked a few. See, we hounded him out. I really didn't, and not anyone knew. It was a bad move. Even Julie, hope you're well. They were a good advantage against Sporting anyway. Definitely a good chance of silverware. Went out the FA Cup in bad fashion as well, though Austin would have beat us in the final. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the Robson sacking. I mean, what it was, if you remember, we had a slow start to the season, but under Robson, we always had a slow start to the season, but we picked up pace, right? And well, I used to work. I've worked in one of Freddie Shepherd's companies, right? Shepherd Offshore, and at Wallsend, and so I knew a few people from there who worked with them, especially people in the office and that. And when Robson was sacked, must have been about a fortnight later. I was out in Newcastle, down the big market, and it was just funny. I just had, because I wasn't working for Freddie Shepherd's company anymore, but funny enough, I bumped into the office people who were in the office at the time, and obviously just asking how they were and everything like that, as you do, when you're having a drink. And I said, bad, isn't it? I says, Freddie Shepherd getting rid of Robson. And they said, do you want to know the real reason why Freddie Shepherd got rid of Bobby Robson? And I said, well, probably because we had a slow start or whatever to the season.
4 games
he said,
gone.
No. He said, I'll tell you why he got rid of Freddie Shepherd. He says, and you haven't heard this from me. And I said, all right, okay. Then I says, fire away. And he said, it's not because of the slow start of the season. It's because Freddie Shepherd wants to just prove a point that no matter how big a manager you are, how much you've done in your career, nobody's too big to be sacked. And Freddie Shepherd just wanted to prove that point. And I thought, what an arsehole. And he said exactly the same. He says, he says exactly what we thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to that Ronald's comment, right? Big up to Ronald, by the way. He's the real one. I mean, Kevin Dyer, right? He want to play when he's doing the team lineup against Borough, right? The first game of the season, he was told he's going to be sub. Kieran Dyer said, "Look, I don't want to play at the Borough. If you're going to play, you're going to be a sub, right?" So I think he was told he's got to play. I think he's got to play on the right side, yeah. And I think Kieran Dyer said you want to play somewhere different, and then he said, "Look, lad, you're not playing. You're not playing this game. You're telling the manager, you're sub, my guy. For me, he should have been out of the team altogether." James Milner was a new signing that day. He had a bloody great game. My man on the match that day. My man on the match.
Yeah, like Milner
that day. He showed Kieran Dyer how to play, right?
Yeah.
Kieran Dyer telling a legendary manager where to play? Really? Get in the bin, Kieran, man. I'm sorry. But there's people like him, you're right, younger players are undermining Bobby. Bobby Robson wanted to reign Rooney with 26 million quid. He wanted to win the contest.
He did. He wanted Wayne Rooney, but what happened? He got sacked and then Rooney's off to Man United.
Facts. And that's the thing. And you know what, right? I mean, and that's why when down we go. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah. And Tony just mentioned, right? I know you got going. Tony just mentioned, right, that Freddie Shepherd's proved the point. No matter how big a manager you are, I want to prove a point. Well, you got the wish, Freddie. God rest the soul, by the way. We just down the cliff. Simple as that.
Yeah, we did. Not subject, sorry, but what is going on with Fat Ashley with us changing to Adidas? Sorry, my sentence. He's trying to sue us in some way.
Yeah, I put a video earlier on about that.
You did, yes, Tony. Great job. I think Bobson wanted to keep speed as well. I think he did. We also signed Woodgate in that summer as well. We sold Woodgate in that summer as well. Diane Bowman was an embarrassment. It was crazy that. Apparently suing us for not letting Sports Direct sell next season's shirt. That's it.
Don't have to, though, do we? Don't have to let them sell it. And anyway, it's up to Adidas who they want to sell their branding.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's GD Sports. But you tell me what Newcastle fan's going to go and shop at Sports Direct or Shite Direct to go and buy a shirt from there when they'd rather buy from the club shop and put the money back in the club.
Exactly. Dyer refusing to play Borough. Somebody aggressive Bobby upstairs for the incident and all. Keeman was a petulant little fucktard. Gary Speed, my heart breaks for him and his boys. Such a very sad day. That was a very sad day when he passed away. It really was. Didn't win a game until 4th of October. The previous season still got 5th. Maybe we need a change. Pursuing us was an awful chance. He was a terrible manager.
Do you know what it is, right? I mean, Blackburn fans celebrated. They celebrated. They wanted a manager could come and sweat the dressing room. Yeah. Someone else tried to take on Craig Bellamy. Wow. I tell you what. The moment he says they're going to play for that football club again, right? Send a pack of lies. Craig Bellamy speaking facts. I don't want to sack Souness just for that. Seriously, there's better managers out there, man. I'd be happy taking on David Moyes at Everton at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's been 2-0 in the Euros qualifying playoffs. Looks like they'll play Poland for a place in the finals on Tuesday. Wow, nice one. 2007 was the
Poland got
worst.
one up.
Titus Bramble signing for Wigan on a free was heartbreaking, says Pierre.
With Ipswich.
Was it?
Ipswich.
Oh, we signed. Oh, did we
not?
not?
We signed Titus from Ipswich for £5 million.
Yeah.
Oh, we did it back in 2003, but we sold him to Wigan in 2007.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still getting over it, says Andrew.
Yeah. The Poland game's quite interesting. I've beaten Estonia 1-0. Estonia down to 10 men after 27 minutes. 41 minutes played in the stats in that game so far. 87% possession for Poland, 13% for Estonia. Poland, 9 shots, 3 on target, 4 off target. Estonia, no shots at all.
Bloody Nora.
Wow.
And it's only 1-0.
Anyways,
it's not Lewandowski that scored either.
Oh, well. Well, then we'll go to another one, and we'll go to another one of yours, Tony. So you've gone for this one. The 1991 was it season?
91-92
No, 91-92 season, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, when we had our dealers as manager.
Mm-hmm. Go on, yep.
I mean, yeah, okay, maybe his hands were tied a bit, but he was playing a lot of youngsters as well in that team.
He was.
And it was dreadful watching the football under Ossie Ardiles. I didn't like him as a manager, to be fair. And it was just awful to watch. And we just were struggling.
Great.
And that was the season when the Magpie group came in, John Hall, and bought the club.
Yeah.
And then obviously not long after they bought the club, they brought Kevin Keegan in. And then I remember being at the Swindon game when Keegan didn't appear for the second half, and I'm thinking, well, where is he? Because I used to stand near the home dugout, you see. And I said, I'm like, look, where's Keegan gone? And that was when he walked out because he wanted the money and he wasn't getting it or something off John Hall, so he went home. And John Hall had to persuade him back. But, you know, I know I've put down as a worst season because of our dealers, and we nearly got relegated to what is now League One or Division 3 it was at the time because the Premier League wasn't in then yet. It didn't start in 92. So we were close to dropping out of Division 2, going into Division 3, which would have been absolutely awful if we did. But look, Keegan came in. Yes, he kept us up. He just kept us up. That 2-1 win against Leicester, last game of the season, was pivotal. And the rest is history, as I say. But that's why I put it down as an awful season, because our dealers was absolutely awful. And I was not keen on him at all as manager. So that's why I went for that season. It was a bad season, and it was only made better because Keegan kept us up by the skin of our teeth.
Yeah.
I'll go with you there, Tony. I mean, I'll see our dealers. I mean, when he came, look, he tried his best. He gave it a go, right? I got no against Ossie dealers, right? He plays a fantastic style of football, not winning enough games. That is the thing. But we just didn't quite have the players to do it, though. That is the thing. And that's why we were struggling down there. I think Ossie did have to go. I mean, Kevin Keegan came in. Like I said, the rest is history. That is the thing. 16 games left. Won the first game against Bristol City. And I tell you something, right? I mean, kept us up. And we know what happened the following season, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Absolutely. Can I ask what your views are on the convertual cross in the England shirts? I know, is that a topic for tomorrow's show? No, what do you think of it? We'll discuss that tomorrow as well with the other guys that come on tomorrw show. What do you make of it?
Controversial? I don't know. I'm not. What's controversial about it?
It's what is it?
It should be a cross. Should be a North England flag. It should be an England thing, but they tried to do something different. But a lot of people's not very happy about it, especially when they pay £85 for Pulitzer weren't paying for that top. Do you know what I mean? 85 quid. And we're in a cost of living crisis, guys. We're in a cost of living crisis, man. And
probably 16 quid on DH Gate.
Could be.
Yeah.
Wow.
And have a look because there's a lot of people that are going a bit thingy about it. Let me just see if I can find what the news was about. Oh, hold on. Right. 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 Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah. So apparently a lot of people are not happy for this with the New England shirt. There's a lot of people not happy with it on the back.
No, it should be a red cross, not red and blue.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't look right, does it?
Nah.
No. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are not happy with. So, yeah. Right, that's not what happened with Rooney. Freddie's bid with Bobby's ass, but Robson was over the moon in Bobby's autobiography. Apparently played Douglas Halls for working for Rooney's agency for grassing, apparently. Interesting.
Wow.
I'm watching it, but it's been capped at Estonia's box, but Poland not great attacking either. Imagine how bad social media would have been that season with us potentially going down to third tier for the first time, especially Keegan was appointed. Douglas Olsen get the blame off Bobby leaking the Rooney bit to Man U. Did he not? Sure. I can't remember off the top of my head as well. It's a wonder I didn't see you at Shepard's offshore, Tony. I worked there security years and next to the Yellow Cranes singing and out of the staff of the ships, says Lee.
Yeah. I wasn't right down on I was on the other side of the warehouse.
Yep. Brian Kilcline was a better signing.
Yeah, I had on my show as well last year. He's told some fantastic stories as well.
Penny Pookies pulled one back for Finland. It is in the St. George's Cross. No, it's not, is it? It's completely disgusting, pushing woke politics onto a national symbol. Many people have thought and died under that flag. You can tell South Korea approved it. There's a lot of people not happy with that at all. England shit, England flag. My view is exactly, John, stick what you want on it because I won't be paying £85 for a shirt unless it's my club's one.
True.
Well, there's other bisexual thing. It's gender politics, says Bia. Who else would do that to the national flag? Nike would get banned if they did that to another country's flag like USA or a Middle Eastern country. They would.
The trouble is, guys, go on, sorry, Tony, go for it.
Sorry, yeah, you can get the shirts on DHK for 13 quid, by the way, so save yourself a lot of money.
There you go.
Save 71 quid. There you go.
There you go. Anyway, we'll go on to the next one. So we'll go on to a second one of yours, John, and this is a very interesting one you've gone for, actually. So you've gone for the 2012-13 season. Yeah, I've got to say I didn't put that in mind, but that was a pretty poor season, that one there, John. So go on, take that one away.
Season before that, we got into the Europa League because you finished fifth.
Yeah, we did.
And I said at the time, we need to get some more players coming in to improve from fifth to get into the fourth spot. Yeah, we need to push on from fifth. We only made one signing, and that was Fun and Anita.
Yeah, it was.
In January, right? I mean, well, we got a CC as well in the same year, yeah. And did we finish? Did we finish to the bottom when CC came in, or did we finish mid-table?
He came in the season we finished fifth in the January.
Yeah, of course you did, you're right. And basically the following season we had these players coming in like Gufan, Sissoko, Haidara, all these players come in, right? For me, they should have came in the summer and not in January. But guess what? They kept, I mean, look, that following season anyway, we nearly got relegated because if had we not beat QPR, and I think we needed to beat Swansea, then we've probably been relegated, pretty close to relegation, yeah. But Adam Parder didn't improve on the team, and that's why we just didn't get it sorted out. Do you know what I mean? But it's a tough one there. We nearly got relegated, and we could have done better, a lot better. So we've gone from fifth down towards sixth bottom. That's a bit of a drop. not really improved. But
Yep.
nah, I'm
That's-
sorry, but for me, we was in big trouble. And they had it's Emmanuel Riviere last season as well. He could have
No, that was a couple of years ago. But no,
Yeah.
that was a poor season, John. I mean, going from 5th to 16th. Demba Ba getting sold in that season in January.
not being replaced.
We got slapped off Sunderland at home. Would you believe it?
Yeah.
We got smashed off Liverpool 6-0 as well.
We did. We should have been 10. Should have been 10. But it just goes to show that we needed to improve on that team in the summer to make sure it didn't ever happen again.
Pardew played a formation that didn't work at the time as well.
No. He plays 4-2-3-1 with us. But why did he change? Why?
But that formation I didn't think worked.
Nah. Not
really didn't. But yeah, that was a poor season. I mean, it's a big drop going from 5th to 16th, I must admit. Getting beat off Sunderland as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Took to the second last game of the season to stay back up as well.
Yeah, we had to win that game. And I think it was against Arsenal. Was it Arsenal? And I think we lost that game. I know we lost to Arsenal, no less.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Arsenal had to beat us to get Champions League. And he'd done it.
Yeah, we got beat down the Emirates 7-3.
Under Pardew.
Yeah. Pardew could have nearly lost his job that season. He really, really could have. Hi up, you don't mind me joining us, Philip? No, welcome to the
Didn't Pardew go to Palace during that season because the Palace?
No, that was a couple of seasons.
After that. Because
some scouts asked if I complained about the England bullshit. I can remember, for fuck's sake. People remember it for the Europa League, especially that night, Vianji. But the bad memories of that year, the defeats to Reading. Yes, getting beat off Reading was another one.
Yeah.
Sunderland and Liverpool. The time Nile Ranger coming out and accused us, says, if you're going to boo, don't bother coming back.
Wow. But the thing is, though, we played poor. I know you got to get behind the team. I'll get that, yeah? We can always get behind the team. But if Nine Ranger is going to come out and say things like that, that's a nice statement coming from the wrong guy. Because he wasn't exactly brilliant. He was not exactly brilliant. So he should have kept his mouth shut.
Yep. I can never get away with Pardew, especially with the rumour of the gambling debt at Ashley. I think there was good and bad times under Pardew. That was it. I was at that game. It's great atmosphere, though. Yeah. Also could add in Southampton and Brighton away. I remember the year wasn't helped with that, what I had to deal with in school. Oh, I can imagine Lawrence getting beat off Hull as well.
Remember that.
I think that was the season after that we got beat off Hull, because I think Hull were in the championship. That was 13-14. Yes, it was. It was. But yeah, that was a really poor season, finishing 16th. So yeah, we had a big QPR just to stay up by the skin of our teeth that season as well. And joking, yeah, oh God, we haven't forgotten about him, have we? Oh, anyway, on to one of my second ones, and this is what I've gone for. And I've gone for this one. So I've gone for the 2014-15 season. Yep. Who did we sign? We signed Riviere that season. Oh God. We signed CM De Jong. We bought Remy Cabella as well. We who else did we buy that season?
Darius Yamat.
Yamat, and we also had Colback in as well that season. Right. Started off very poorly. It didn't take us till October to beat Leicester City at home. Before that, people were asking Pardew to be sacked. There was, remember the banners with the sackpardew.com signs were there as well. But we picked up the first win in October, beat Leicester. Then we decided to have a good little run after that. And we did. We beat Spurs away after that as well. We beat Liverpool as well that season 1-0 through Perez. That's another player we signed that season, Perez as well. We beat West Brom away 2-0 where Perez scored that really good back heel. And we had a good little run into that as well. We did pick up a couple of losses. We still lost to Sunderland 1-0. But then it came to Pardew's final game, and that was the 3-2 win against Everton. Some people still were not happy. And then Crystal Palace, come in discussions and they pay the compensation and he goes off to them. There was a lot of fans delighted that some said Pardew needed to go, but maybe not to be replaced by his assistant, John Carver. What was John Carver famous for that season? 8 defeats in a row. That was shit. Shocking that, like. It was never worked. It never worked. We finished 15th. It had to come right down to the final game to beat West Ham 2-0 to stay up. I mean, we didn't. The last game we won before that was back in February, and that was against Aston Villa at home. I think we won only 3 games under Carver. That's when he took over the rest of the season. That was Hull, Aston Villa, and of course West Ham on the final game. Yeah, I wouldn't have sacked Pardew then if I found out that John Carver was going to be the replacement. I think you remember that season, Tony.
Yeah, I do. I don't think we sacked Pardew. Did Palace not pay his compensation?
Yeah, Palace paid his compensation.
Yeah,
they did.
To take him. Yeah, so we didn't sack him. We went. Yeah, that was when we scored. And Gutierrez, because he'd come back from me, and that's when he took his shirt off and celebrated when he scored. Because I think it's when he come back from his cancer, wasn't it? From his testicular cancer. And he done that celebration in front of everybody, and then after that season ended, he then got a phone call 2 days later from the club to say, sorry, we're not giving you a new contract. Disgraceful behaviour from the club.
And Ryan
you don't
Taylor
phone somebody. Well. You don't ring somebody up to say, I'm sorry, but you're not getting a contract. You speak to them face to face. But obviously, Penfold, and the fat cockney bastard did not have the balls to do that in front of Gutierrez, and that's the thing.
Ryan Taylor was the same as well.
Yeah.
Happened with Ryan Taylor as well. Yeah,
disgraceful behaviour.
Yeah, I think that's shocking. Absolutely, the way that club's doing run is absolutely like amateurs as well. Let's be real. And you know what I heard about that? I was absolutely furious. Seriously, Jonas did not deserve that at all whatsoever. He didn't. He's been a fantastic servant here, right? If I was giving marks out of 10 for him to being here, I'll probably give him 7.5 because he has some good games. He works hard for the team. But you know what? He deserves a 7.5. I like him.
Yeah. Julie's not buying the England shirt. Andrew says, I like Pardew. He did okay, a lot better than some. He did have some good time. Disgraceful use of the I'm buying a Brazil shirt with Julian on the back, says Bia.
Wow.
Julie's got one with Bruno on the back. I bet you 10 years from now, we are watching another one of these. No one will be saying, well, Steve, race wasn't that bad. Shocking. It's good run to get us in the top half, but then that run under Carver, it was terrible. Colback was crap for us. He was a QPR, is he? Yes, he is. Mad to think we were fourth for 2.5 hours after beating QPR before Man U beating Arsenal that evening. Yeah, we were as well.
We were top 4.
I bet you 10 years from now, we are watching another one of these. No one will be seeing it. I'll just read that one. I like Pardew, thought he was decent. I hope so. Best coach in the Premier League, losing twice to Sunderland. That game at Leicester. Throwing a lead at yes, losing to QPR, who were down as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then Spitters at home ended up being the fixture where we chanted for Rafa to stay yet. Rafa, after 1 year, one Ashley left. Yep. Ashley's treatment of Jones was fucking appalling. It was. Sammy Amiobi getting a deal was even worse. Deliberately missed the 1-1 draw. West Brom to see Norseans on the day. FA was at Wembley on the same day. Mayfinho played for Brazil. I would have his name on the back. Did Peter just call him Steve Rice? No, definitely not. Anyways, onto a third one. Onto another one. So for this next one, we're all going for the same one here. So I think you might know which one that is. So yeah, it's the 2015-16 season, which is also John's picked, and also Tony has picked as well. I'll start with this off. Yeah, Cecil, we got relegated. McLaren was appointed just before that season started. Really poor decision. Said he wanted to get top 8 in a cup run. We were in the bottom 3 for pretty much a lot of that season. Who did we sign? We signed Genie Wijnaldum. Who else did we get? We got Chancellor Mbemba. That was another player. We got Mitrovic as well in that season as well. And
John Shelby,
and,
yeah, Xavier as well.
Xavier and Townsend in the January, we got those, but still, £80 million spent, and we still got relegated. McLaren was sacked far too late, and it really cost us. And all it had to take was Sunderland to beat Everton, because Sunderland had a game in hand. And what happens? Sunderland go and beat them 3-0, and that was relegation confirmed for us, because we couldn't beat a bottom side Aston Villa that time as well. Who were pretty much dead and buried as well that season. And we come away with a goalless draw there. I mean, John, you can understand why you've put that in there as one of your top worst seasons. I mean, get relegated. McLaren was in a job far too long.
I totally agree. I was in I think I was in Ventura that day where we drew 0-6 against Villa. And
you were on holiday at the time as well.
I was on holiday that day, and I think Coleman missed an open goal, didn't he? Someone did. And I tell you what, 0-6, that was relegation for me, because I couldn't see someone losing against Everton at a time. But I tell you one thing, and I'm not going to lie, but you're right, they sacked McLaren way too late. The moment Rafa Benitez got sacked around Madrid, we should have got him there and then. And I guarantee you, he would have come then. If he could come in March, April, then he would have came December time. He would have kept us up. But unfortunately, Mike Ashley's style, he thinks he knows best. But you look at the players, Reece. I mean, Mitrovic, I said when you signed him, that guy is a bit of a hothead. And I said that, and I call all the people out on social media, he's got a hothead. Sent off twice. He got sent off twice.
That was the season people wanted us to sign Charlie Austin when he was so good at QPR, and we didn't bother signing him.
Could have done. I think he would have done a job for us. I think he would have done a really good job for us, yeah. But we needed fighters in that midfield. We needed fighters. We didn't have that. Did he want to play with McLaren? When he got beat off Bournemouth.
Yes.
I didn't go to the game. I think I had to work that day.
I don't think I was there. Thank God I wasn't there for that.
Nah. Definitely not.
What else? Oh, yeah, we got thrashed 5-1 off Crystal Palace away.
Fact. Well, after we went the goal up, by the way, and Palace scored 5 unanswered goals, didn't they? And if you look at the run, right, March to May, right, we haven't won a game, right, from March to 2015. That's the previous season. Sorry, my bad. But do you know what it is, right? I mean, we're just doing enough games. It's as simple as that. And we were lucky to get near the end. We've nearly done it, but it just wasn't to happen, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Tony, why did you put this season as one of the worst as well? I mean, it's because we went down.
Well, the Wally with the brolly, fucking where's Wally? Stand on the fucking touchline. That's where he is. Taking the team down. I always said McLaren was sacked 2 weeks too late. And I'll tell you why. Because if he was sacked 2 weeks earlier, Rafa Benitez would have kept us in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why he would have kept us in the Premier League. Because the thing is, after we got beat off Eddie Howe's Bournemouth 3-1, that's when McLaren was shown the door, and that was too late then. And look, if and the time that Rafa had, but by the time Rafa put his tactics through, it takes a couple of weeks. So that couple of weeks, that's why it was pivotal. And I had been shouting 2 weeks prior to this, sack him now, and it was like, no, we're still keeping that, he's still a good manager. And I'm like, oh, fuck's sake, just get rid of him. And then when we did sack him after getting beat off Bournemouth, who was Eddie Howe, by the way, who managed them at the time, that was curtains for him after that, because that was disgraceful. And but like I say, if Rafa had been in 2 weeks earlier, I still stipulate this now, we would have still been in the Premier League. We wouldn't have gone down.
Facts, boy. Facts. And the thing is as well, I mean, that game, he played Riviere in that game against Bournemouth, yeah. And it was
yes.
absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Real talk. But I think then McCann wanted the sack. That's why he played Riviere up front.
Mm-hmm.
They got back into the game. I mean, Blair's got a cracking goal from Shelby's pass.
The damage was done.
Damage was done a couple of minutes later.
Yep. My father was at the pre-season friendly in Tenerife when Jonas played. They couldn't pronounce his name and sang his shirt number, lol, says Ronald. McLaren couldn't run an egg and spoon race. The squad McLaren got relegated is why I have him as my worst manager. How does John remember what he's doing on Pacific Days? I can't remember what I did last week.
Oh, man.
One of them gone after the 5-1 loss at Chelsea, 3-0 down after 17 minutes. I think that was the season that down 2-0 all season. Yeah, I remember that 3-0 at Chelsea. I think Austin did have problems that season, but I think we were linked with them. Even Rafa was calling out the funny bastard before the end of his tenure. I thought we had some decent players in the 15-16 season. Just had the wrong manager, and McLaren was hopeless. Riviere started that game v Bournemouth. Could tell McLaren wanted the sack, not to mention him coming on before Aarons and Perez in the loss at Stoke 3 days before. Yes, I remember that as well. Wales 3-1. Wow. Didn't feel about the relegation was coming for years, but I'd hope going forward with Rafa, yeah, getting beat off Wolves 4-0. I don't think we got Wolves win in the Premier League that season, I don't think. No. 3 losses to Watford and Sheffield Wednesday, made 9 changes and won 1-0. I remember that as well. Got beat off promoted Watford, and we got beat off Sheffield Wednesday in the League Cup.
Pete, remember that season? I think it was something like 6 games unbeaten, right? 6 games unbeaten, won 3, drawn 3, and that was enough to keep us up.
Yep. Richie, I got an assist. I think got an assist. Yes, he did actually. McLaren, probably the most useless manager we ever had. Even worse than Cabbage, he'd assist Jody. Oh, interesting one. Very, very interesting. Right then, so we go on to the 4th one now because we've all picked that as another. That was our 3rd one we all picked, and we'll go on to our 4th one. And again, it's another one which we've all chosen the same as well. So yes, it's this one. Of course, the 2020 2021 season. There we are. All of you have gone for this as well. Take it away, Tony. Shocking season. We finished 12th. I don't know how we finished 12th that season because it was just a dire season and it was none of us could go to the games up to vent our frustration towards Cabbage Head Eat at the time.
Yeah, that was the that was a season hit by COVID. It was just an awful season. 17 losses in that season, absolutely ridiculous. And we all remember when Project Restart happened and we came back after COVID, playing behind closed doors. And, you know, because obviously players had to be in bubbles and all this sort of thing. Remember Cabbage Sheet coming out and saying, you know, having a dig at the fans, saying it was better playing in an empty stadium because he didn't have the fans shouting at him and all this. And it was like, you know, that guy is just an absolute total knobhead. Look, to be honest with you, it was just awful. And I was just glad when that season ended and we were still in the Premier League. But, you know, but I think he was shouting his mouth off about the fans. And then after, I think it was just a few days after, that's when the government thing come out that fans could start coming back. And, we were at 10,000 fans in the stadium.
Yeah, we were.
And that shut Steve Bruce up after that because, and I think he got a good grilling as well when the fans came back in against Sheffield United. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know, yeah, absolutely awful. A season to forget, and yeah, definitely one of the worst seasons ever. That he was only lucky that he didn't get booed and that because we had no fans in the stadium.
Yeah, totally. I mean, John, we did a lot of videos together at one time.
Yeah, man.
about you understood how awful Steve Bruce was as manager and it was that just again baffles me how we finished in 12th place. It was a dire season. You remember some of the horrible moments we had to put up with in that season?
Yeah, I mean, Sheffield United away, Brighton away, United
God,
4-1 at home. We started well. Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
threw
there's
that.
other poor games I've witnessed as well, man. Brentford away in the cup.
Yes.
Let's be honest about it. And then he threw Andy Carroll under the bus at West Brom with a minute left.
30 seconds. Oh,
30 seconds
yes.
left. And I'll tell you what, right? I'm not being funny, right, guys, but the moment Steve Bruce was appointed manager, I wanted him out before he even came in. Remember that, you guys, and in the chat as well. I wanted him out before when it came in. He looks like a pork chop, acts like a pork chop, and I tell you what as well. And I tell you something now. I just think this guy, seriously, man, he should never ever have gotten this job. When Rafa left, there was other top quality managers like there. I would have got Thomas Frank in, to be fair, but he wouldn't have worked under Ashley. Who would work under Mike Ashley? Steve Bruce, because he said he's a Geordie. He said
Yep.
He's more red. He's more red than Newcastle. Let's be real. Yeah. No one didn't want him here. No one. But again, Ashley didn't listen to him at all whatsoever. And he comes in, Bruce, and he's given us a football where it puts us to sleep. 5-4-1. There's no attacking threat. There's just no excitement, you know. And he's talking about second striker or twin strikers.
False 10 it was.
False 10 it was. Come on, man. I mean, these days, right, I was furious. You was furious. Paul was furious, right?
Oh, yeah, we did a lot of videos together during that season as well.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, I can remember you and Paul did a press conference reaction one year, and Paul said that the face said, "Oh, that guy's."
Well, yeah, his press conferences before the game before the game, and it was just, oh my god.
I know Craig Hope even given pelt ass as well. Craig Hope.
Yep.
And tell him that you can't even read the mail online anymore. You got to pay for it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. This season was just dire. Again, I don't know how we finished 12th place. As you mentioned, we added Sheffield United, their first win of the season. The Brentford game was a farce, getting trounced off Brighton in both games as well. The Spurs game away was a joke as well. I mean, the way we played in that game, and then all he had to take was a controversial penalty decision for us to get a point out in that game.
Yeah, that wasn't. I didn't think that was a pen, to be fair. We were lucky we got away with that.
Southampton away, we got absolutely annihilated, even though it was only 2-0. But again, the Man U game, 4-1. Man U came off the back of a thrashing 6-1 of Spurs, and that should have rattled them. But no, we take the lead, we sit back, and what happened? I think Man U scored about 3 goals in a space of 20 minutes. Something like that it was. And I've said the other half of the season, the way he's just taking cheap shots at the fans in press conferences. Again, I remember he called the Newcastle United job a gig one time. I would never forgotten about that.
Nah. And he also said as well, Pete, did you see him against United when we lost something like 3-1, 4-1? And he shook all his hand.
Yeah,
and
hands were so. Yeah, and he smiled about it. What else do I remember that season? Oh, yes. There's always words afterwards after we're getting defeat. I am not going to walk away. He refused to walk away because he wanted that payoff from Mike Ashley. It was just a torture season again because we couldn't get in the grounds at the time. The event was frustration. It was all out on social media, all of our channels, just to making us hear how we feel, and rage levels were right up at the top. And I really hated this season. I really, really hated this season completely. The season was a complete write-off. I know we did pick up a few results towards the end, but a lot of that season was just dire. This man took the piss out of us week in, week out in every press conferences during COVID. And that was just a horrible season to watch. Where I'm up to with my comments. Throw cabbages in the chat, says Julie, not much in it. Mind that season, I hated for the fact we couldn't attend games, losing 3-0 to Brighton twice, dumped out the cup by Brentford, giving Sheffield United their first win. That Snowfest v West Brom with Carroll getting chucked on with 20 seconds left. Yeah, that was a piss take. Like McLaren, it was a defeat to Chelsea that, when it was wanted them gone, was the loss at St James's Park. It was funny when a Villa threw fan for a cabbage. Yes, it was. Bruce was a proper gap shit. Was at the Sheffield United game. I remember fans chatting about Bruce having their fat head in a lap of appreciation. Darlow kept us in plenty of games, yeah, because Dubravka was out injured a lot of that time. Bruce Biggers grabbed shit out of Ashley's Muppet. Yep. Despite our takeover falling through, I gained optimism when we signed Wilson, Fraser, and Lewis. Wilson was our best player that season, but Fraser and Lewis didn't live up to the hype. We bought some good players in, but the football was just dire under Steve Bruce. Steve Bruce is a Man U fan. He referred to them as us. Yes, he did. After a Champions League game on Radio 5 Live this season. Remember Peter pretend to rip Steve Bruce's tactics and ripping up the paper after we lost? Yeah, I remember that. I'll never forget that. Oh, no, Johnson now seeing an all in he can jump top man. Good evening, Mark. Up you well. Take Ashley or Willock's contributions away and we go down. Yes, exactly. If Willock or Wilson didn't put the goals in, we were down. Simple as that. What do you think of Trashy suing the club because he can't sell the new strips in his crap stores? We just said it how it was there, Mark, as well, if they don't want to. Evening, Pete, Tony, and Mods. Chatters, hope you're well. Good evening, Mary. Miss Lord's Life Blame Team the article, though. We'll watch full tomorrow's show. Nice one, Dave. That'll show be on tomorrow. Good evening, Pete. John, Tony, Ashley. That he just forgot where JD Sports. Yep. Absolutely, as well. Yeah, so again, 2020-21 there was an absolute farce of a season we had as well. And yeah, it was just horrible. It was just a really, really horrible season as well. So yes, which is going to bring us on to our final one. So again, we've all gone for the same. I did join late. It's no problem, Mark. You know, it's catch up. We've all gone for the same for this one. I think you probably know which one it's going to be as well. And here we go. It is this one. Yep, 2008, 2009 season. I mean, I'll start with you, John. I mean, that was just a painful season to watch it as well. And we were all heartbroken to find out our club was relegated from the Premier League.
I'll be honest with you, not surprised at all. Again, the season was a complete and utter mess. I mean, Kevin Keegan had high hopes, wanted to turn our club back to how it was before. Mike actually told him, maybe come down to London and said that he got to sell James Milner. I thought it was going to be a new contract or could be good news. He's got to sell James Milner. He did a press conference and said that, yes, we had to sell James Milner, which is absolutely BS. He was forced to sell him, and then all hell broke loose. And then Dennis Wise tried to destroy that club, trying to bought Cisco, and he also got Gonzalez on the season on loan from Valencia. And Michael Owen still at the club, by the way, yeah. And the club was just a disgrace, just a complete and utter mess. Kevin Keegan walked away from Newcastle. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all whatsoever. But
no, I couldn't blame him for that.
3 days to make that announcement. 3 days. And everyone thought that Dennis was going to take over that club. But it didn't happen. And guess what? Joe Kinnear came in. No one did expect this. No one did not expect this at all whatsoever. Yeah? I couldn't believe my eyes, you know? And then, God rest his soul, is taken out because of the illness as well. Chris Hooton took over. Alan Shearer came in. 8 games left? Why didn't Alan Shearer took over after Keegan? Why?
I think the club was already gone, and the club, as soon as Kevin Keegan left, it was already dead and buried. That season was dead and buried for us.
Fact, absolute fact. And I thought Dennis was going to take over that club as well, and I was scared for that. And then I went against Hull City, right, at home, lost 2-1. And I tell you what, the atmosphere was so toxic, Pete. It was unbelievable. I don't know if you was there, Tony. It was so toxic, and it could have been a riot. It could have been all hell broke loose, and I can't blame them at all whatsoever. But Mike Ashley and his cronies didn't turn up for the game. I think only Charlie was in the box as well, if I can remember. And he just didn't give a toss. Didn't give a toss. The players wanted to leave. Players wanted out. Shay Given wanted out. Got his wish.
Well, no, Shay Given actually didn't want to leave. He got sold.
Yeah,
I thought he wanted away. I thought he wanted out.
No, they sold him. They just said, "No, you're going."
Sums
I
up,
mean,
doesn't it?
yeah. Well, here's my take on it. It was a torture season to watch. We were down.
Awful.
I mean, the fact to mention, I was down in Great Yarmouth at the time when to find that out. So partially the holiday I went to was a bit ruined. To hear that my club was kicked out of the Premier League, farce of a season. Yeah, Kevin Keegan Walker's, he had players walk behind his back. He sues Newcastle United and gets over £2 million for it. Kinnear had a percentage of a 19 win record, which is appalling. Fred had to give up the job because of his health conditions. Chris Hughton tried, couldn't do a lot. Shearer wanted to save the club from going down, but the club was already gone, unfortunately, that season. And it was just a horrible season. And I was really heartbroken when that final whistle blew against Aston Villa. I mean, it was just horrible feeling going through to say just with that feeling like we're not in the Premier League next season. It was just it was just a awful. It was just an absolute horror show.
Fact. I mean, that football club should never have been in the Championship, never. But thanks to Mike Ashley, he gambled. He lost a gamble, and to me, he didn't give a toss when he got relegated. But he had his hands over his head at Villa Park. To me, that's all false. False pretend, done for the pictures, for the cameras. He didn't really care. Did not really care at all whatsoever. And poor Chris Hughton was manager, didn't know where he was coming and going, right? To be fair, he's done a brilliant job, got us up, right?
Got us up, yep.
And then after that, they threatened them like shite. They certainly threatened. I mean, at the end of the day, Tories are given something like 6-7 million to spend, right? Beat Sunderland at home, 5-1. And then after got beat off West Brom, you're getting sacked, mate. You're getting sacked. Slap in the face. Slap in the face.
Absolutely good. But yeah, Tony, take us through 2008, 2019. It was just, I can imagine how you felt after getting relegated from the Premier League that season.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, look, the likes of Cisco coming in, Gonzalez, because I watched a 3-minute YouTube video, so I said, we'll get him in on loan. I think he came on as a sub and he looked absolutely awful, and Keegan wouldn't play him again. Was saying Colaccini that season.
Yeah, we did actually. Forgot about him.
It was just poor.
But Song was another one.
Yeah, I mean, look, Keegan left, and rightly so, because players were coming in over his head, and he hadn't a say in them because of the poison dwarf, Dennis Wise. And then obviously GFK came into the club. We know why we call him GFK, Joe effing Kinnear. And I think, and I mean, do you remember when he had that rant at the media with the 50 swear words?
Yes, he did.
F's and the C's at the media. That was an embarrassment. I'm sorry, that was an embarrassment. And I was absolutely mortified that day when this came out, because I'm sitting there thinking, why on earth is he being employed as manager in Newcastle United, and all he's doing is having a swearing session at the media? How unprofessional is that from somebody who's in a high-profile job? And then obviously, like you say, for the health issues, he went. I was pleased when he went, to be fair. I was glad. And then obviously Hughton did his bit, didn't he? And then Shearer came in, and Shearer couldn't do much to save the club because we were already gone on our way down. I remember the home game against Portsmouth. I think that was the last home. That was the second last game of the season before we played Villa. Michael Owen should have scored in that game. He missed an absolute sitter. So I was at that game because I couldn't believe it. I thought it was in, and then they had me head in my hands. I was like, how the fuck's he missed that? Because he should have scored. And And then we went down to Villa. We just limped out of the Premier League after that because Damien Duff scored the own goal. Had to be Duff. Duff by name, Duff by nature. Duff on the field. Would be him who deflected the shot and put it in his own net. That was a game where Owen wasn't really interested. Had a bust up Bashir, didn't he? And it was just it was just a shambles. It was an absolute shit show. That's what it was. And I remember when the final whistle went and the tears rolled down my eyes and I just couldn't believe we were relegated. I was just like, no, this can't happen, and and it is we've gone. And then I was just looking, thinking, and then all I could think of, and then all I thought was after that, I was looking at the next season thinking, right, I've got trips to here, there and there to go to next season. Not in the Premier League, but, trips to likes of Plymouth or Scunthorpe, places like that. It's just heartbreaking. But yeah, it was something I never ever thought we would endure, but it just showed you, you're not too big to go down, and we went down. And that's when the Villa fans put their sub on the time banners on. We won't forget that, Villa fans. That's why we hate you even more now. We won't forget that, shouting, "Where's your Messiah?" and decking all this, and we don't forget, Villa. We don't forget. So wait till you have a shit season, but we're better than that. We won't unfurl banners against you. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll dive into these comments because there's a few that's coming. Quite much so. Where I'm up to. Joy late. Mary, he says, I got my shift very quickly from JD Sports, says Julie. Was watching TDR. That's no problem. It's always great. Went to watch the review live.
Yeah, because he went live. They changed that time from 7 to 8 tonight.
Definitely the worst season in my lifetime. Michael Owen, complete mercenary. Yep. Read so much about what happened with Key in his biography on holiday last summer. Dennis fucking Weiss and Cisco off YouTube, for fuck's sake. As Dick said, Dennis Weiss is a very, very small man.
But
were you hoping he was speaking of his height? Wise, the little cockeyed reminded me of Nuki Bear, of course. Mary's only 3'4". Sissil's going to turn up against Spizzy on live. Fuck, I remember which one was that one again. Did you see the news of Newcastle getting involved with the NFTs?
Yes.
I've not heard about that.
Not heard of that one either.
It's trading cards.
All right.
Online trading cards, Pete, and
yeah.
you can get the packs and things like that. It's not available yet, but it's coming soon at the end of March. I mean, look, it's money coming into the club. That's what it is. But yeah, it's rather than you having like a. You remember when you used to be small, when you were smaller, and you got, when you were young in Peter, probably at school, things like that. You used to get the trading cards and used to say to your mates in the school yard, "Oh yeah, I've got Alan Shearer. Who you got? Oh, I've got all right, okay, well, you trade, don't you?" And that's what that is, but just online rather than doing it physically.
All right, fair enough. He was old in development in the height department, says Mary. Read about Given's treatment in his biography as well. Wanted to finish his career here, but offered a low salary for a new deal. I knew what was going on. Yeah, absolutely. Was crying as a 10-year-old when we were relegated. Couldn't blame you, Lawrence. It was a heartbreaking season. I cried when we got relegated too, first time. I was more mad and wanted the fat cockney bastard gone. Could always smell that Ashley's a wrong'un. Is it true that Weiss told Keegan to watch Cisco on YouTube and all? It was something like that.
Yeah, I think he did, apparently.
It was Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it, Gonzalez, sorry.
Did beat Middlesbrough to get out the drop zone, but lost to Fulham and dropped back in before the Villa game. Yes, we did. Kenny,
going back that comment, the Fulham one. I forgot about that. I remember that game well because me and my daughter were there. We sat in my normal seats right at the front in the Sir John Hall stand. And where you sat is because the roof doesn't quite cover you there. Mm-hmm. And I remember it was absolutely pissing it down the rain. And we had 6 minutes of injury time to endure as well. And there was a few fans had left. So my daughter went further back in the stand because she wanted to keep dry. And I just sat where I was watching the game. That was a game where Viduka scored the equaliser and it was ruled out for offside. And when you watch it back on Match of the Day, he actually was not offside for Tuka. So that goal should have stood. If that goal had stood, we would have stayed up just by 1 point.
Yeah.
Just what
And Vituka was wrongly done over there because that was never offside, that goal. That goal should have stood all day long.
Yep.
And I was absolutely gutted. I got absolutely drenched because I just had my Newcastle top, but I had no tops on underneath. And I just sat there in the pouring rain, couldn't give a shit because I was more interested in seeing my team try and get that equaliser. And I remember that game really well. And yeah, it was awful. And like I say, I remember getting home and watching Match of the Day tonight because I thought, I'm going to watch Match of the Day because I want to see this goal, why it was offside. And when they were showing you it wasn't offside, and I was like, shit, we should have had a point out of that game. We've been robbed.
Yeah.
And that point would have kept us up, Pete. That point would have kept us up.
It would have. It probably would have.
Sorry for interrupting you there.
No, don't worry. Ian with the insomnia, insulted public, went to the bog before and got my season mixed up. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember True Geordie being like, Damien Duff, are you shitting me? He was shit at Newcastle 5 fucking years ago. What is he doing in my ultimate team ago? Are you shitting me, kids, says Lawrence. When he packed him on FIFA 14. Yes, I remember that. Great stream as always, says Pete. Cheers, Pete. I detest that with Villa. Is someone called Jeff says, where's Gaz and Scotty? I'm not sure what he's on about there. I see Mike Ashley assuming Newcastle United. He's literally a ball in the arse, says Brian. Remember match attacks back in the day. Cards were banned in my school, but I forgot cards I already had would give them to mates on and after sports clubs. Nice one, Lawrence. I never used to shoplift my Panini stickers ever and sell them. It wasn't me, says Ron. Also, we picked up 9 red cards this season. We had quite a lot, I think we did. I saw the little man Dennis Wise in Sorrento in Italy giving him evil stare. Yeah, was years was May 2021. I was wearing my Toon top in the Market Square. He's still at Como Sporting the CEO.
Yeah, he is.
I had run-ins with Penfold, Charney, and Derek Lambias when we went down. Says Brian, don't blame you. Geordie has seriously gone downhill. Bring back the good old days. Oh, does he mean Geordie Shaw? If he is, I don't watch Geordie Shaw.
Nah, I've seen it. I don't watch. I've seen it I've seen it in real life. Watch it live. Watch on TV. Seen it live.
No problem. No. Well then, so we've come to the end of the show now. I think it's been a really good show. So we are going to do another one, but this time we're going to do our top 5 best seasons. We don't know when we're going to do that yet, but we'll have to do it quite early before the season resumes. So we'll either look at possibly the end of the week or we'll look into early next week to do that show as well. So, yeah. It's been really, really good. Tomorrow night, I'll be back at 8 o'clock with the Crazy PD's Football Live show. Get yourselves on. It's a laugh as always. And the good old fool picks when we have an hour of the show, which always pleases some people as well. And so come and join us for that. Come and join myself for that tomorrow at 8 o'clock. It's a show you don't want to miss at all. So yes, come and join us for that one at 8 o'clock. So, nothing you don't want to miss. PD Churn and all says coffee, take care, coffee, woohoo, food picks, absolutely. Can we add the season of the worst? I'll wait until we'll see where we finish come the end of the season as well. Spot on show, says Lee. Great show, guys. Bye, PD, John, Tony, and John. Great to see Ian. Take care, everyone, as well. Actually, just before we go, John, what we got coming up next on your channel?
Thanks so much for having us on, man. Because I was going to do a show tomorrow, but obviously you're starting at 8 o'clock, so I might miss. I'm going to do one on the weekend. I don't know what, it could be the transfer show, and it could be a football talk. But I'm definitely doing the Real Talk podcast. If you guys are interested on the Monday, it'll be 8 o'clock. If you fancy coming on, are you happy doing that, guys?
Yeah, we can do. Yeah. Yes, we can do.
Tony?
I can't do 8 o'clock, John, because I'll be away to darts. If you'd done it at 7, that wouldn't have been even if you'd done it about 7, that wouldn't have been a problem. But 8 o'clock, I can't.
I tell you what, if that's the case, I'll try to do an early one then, if that's all right, guys. Don't know what you think, Pete.
What time are you looking? What time are you thinking, John?
If I fit it in for, say, quarter to 7, 20 to 7, 27?
Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
Happy that, Tony? So 27 on Monday for the Real Talk podcast show. I think I'm on Harry's channel on Tuesday for the Premier League Roundup show. And definitely do that. Probably do a transfer show over the weekend, sort of thing, Saturday or Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, guys, It's just down there. John Sinclair TV. Please give your channel a chance, guys, if you haven't been on. And just hit that subscribe button. It's free. And I'll be back on Pete's channel regularly and Tony's channel regularly. Just check us out.
Absolutely. And what we got coming up on yours, Tony?
Yeah, so on It's All Black and White TV. Well, if anybody hasn't seen it, I did put a video out tonight, NUSC Evening News, not just obviously about not just about the Sports Direct Sue in Newcastle, but there's also bits about Anthony Gordon and Bruno on there, so do check that out. If you're new to the channel, give it a subscribe and do like the videos. That'd be fantastic. It does help the channel. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to do some sort of preview on the women's game for Saturday, the National League Cup final. It's Kenilworth Road, #United versus Newcastle United, which, by the way, is now live on the BBC iPlayer as well. So it's going live. And then on Saturday, I am actually at that game. So what I'll do is I will do some vlogging when I'm there. So that will be uploaded. May not be uploaded on the Saturday, so it may be on the Sunday, but do keep an eye out for it. So I will be doing that. I'll see if I can try and fit a live in when I'm down there, depending on what the internet connection is like down that way. Because I only live about just over 90 minutes away from, about 93 minutes from Luton, so it's not really that far, to be fair, to go. Hence is why I've got a ticket. I mean, look, for a tenner, you can't go wrong, can you? And to see Newcastle hopefully win a trophy would be fantastic. I know it's the women, but still, hey, it's a trophy. And the women are doing great at the minute because, they're close to getting promotion now to the Championship. And then they're only one step from the Super League. So, let's hope the women go and beat #United. Then if we can beat Portsmouth, I'm sure we can go and beat #United.
There you go. Absolutely.
But that's what I've got coming up. And then obviously back on the channel from next week, there'll be the show that me and John used to always do on my channel. That'll be the Dynamic Duo. So that will be returning, the Dynamic Duo.
Nice one, nice one. Be great.
And just quick one on the last game. If we do get to the Premier League, the Women's Super League, there's one player I'd love to sign. And I'll always rate this player, Toon. I'll get her over to Newcastle. She is canny. But can you see that happening? I doubt it. Because she loves Man United.
You never know.
She loves Man United too much. And she's a lifer there. She's also a season ticket holder as well at Old Trafford. I can't see that coming in.
There you go. This season still has involved wins v PSG, still a Man U twice, Chelsea and Arsenal. It does actually. And the big wins v Villa and Sheffield United. Leicester hit by FFP. Yes, unfortunately they have. 4-1 Wales now. Wow. I think the FAWNL Cup Finals on BBC Red Button and FA Player. Yes, it is. Good luck to the women team this weekend. Ghana Wetherspoons and Luton, only decent pub. Yates was Ari and all, but the place is a shit tip, says Ronald. We've been promoted to the Championship, not Super League. Yes, we will. Old school disallowed. It's been disallowed, actually. Ella Toon is a YouTuber too. Oh, nice one. Fingers crossed for the girls. Absolutely as well, says Judy. Well, guys, remember, guys, if you have enjoyed tonight's show, remember to hit the thumbs up and keep us up those search results. And, of course, please, if you're brand new to the channel, if you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Free to do so. It does help make the channel grow. And, of course, hit that bell notification. That will let you know whenever we are live or when a pre-recorded video does get uploaded to the channel on the day. And, again, feel free to donate. And, again, if you want to become a member for just 99p, hit the join button. You'll be put into the next prize draw as well. Well, and so tomorrow night, guys, yes, it's back. We are back tomorrow for the Crazy PD's Football Live Show. So until then, everyone, we'll see you later, everyone. Good night, all. Take care.
We're the lads.
We're the lads.
See you later, everyone. Take care, all.